Well, hello and welcome to YouTube. Brendan Robinson back here with yet another playoff game in the Super Mega Baseball 2 San Mateo Bearcats softball season. Baseball, softball season, whatever you call it here. We're in game 2. I'm going to call it CCS. That's my playoffs. We're in game 2 of the CCS. And we are going to be playing the Moonstars with a very good pitcher, Slipsouter? I'm not sure. If you can come up with the name, whatever that means, think about it and let me know. Very good pitcher. This is their number 2. He's a lefty, and we got Kylie on the mound here, who, you know, again, reset mojo, everything like that. Now, Raisa's a hot hitter, so obviously she's going to have upward mojo there, which is beautiful. Now, the Moonstars, I was thinking, like, all right, I've heard that team before. Did we play them? So I went back to the regular season, and we got to go all the way back, Moonstars, all the way back to game number 3. And game number 3 was a game that we played way back about 15 months ago. The first 4 games of the season I played were 15 months ago. And then I had a long hiatus of Super Mega Baseball for a lot of different reasons. Just life got in the way. And then when Super Mega Baseball 3 news came out, I said I'm going to go and play and finish my regular season again. I've been uploading 1 game a day, and I'm sticking to that for now. But we played them a long time ago, and we beat them 5-3. So, look, they have good pitchers. We beat some guy named Slayer, last name Slayer. This guy, who was he again? Saunders or something? Sauter. We're facing him. Look, probably going to be another good pitcher here. So, now, there's one other thing I'm going to be doing here. We are playing a home game, and I think we're going to be playing home games the rest of the way. However, I'm going to have us play as the home team when it comes to us wearing white, and us being in the, being the bottom half of the inning hitters. However, in CCS, what happens is, and I can't remember if you play your first game at home. You might. It might just be the scrimmage game. I wouldn't know. I didn't get to CCS. But you might play your first playoff game at home. Whether or not you do, we played our first home game at Sakura Hills, and we dominated. We won 13-1. I'm going to play all these other games at different parks as if we are playing at different parks. And then the last couple games, maybe I'll play at some bigger stadium that makes it feel like a championship game if I make it there. So I decided to play, there's one stadium that I decided to choose here. It's a stadium I haven't heard of before called Emerald Diamond. I don't think we've played here before. So I'm just choosing it because it's a stadium we haven't played at before. So if you'll indulge me here, that's what we're going to do for this game going into it. All right, with Kylie pitching here, I said I want to swap Taylor and Kendall here to lead off here. Kendall went a 5 for 5, and she's very hot. I want Taylor to get hot. Not that she's cool, but I want her to get hot. So I'm going to hit her 2 in hopes that, like, we can work around that part of the order and make that work. Probably going to go Morella here instead of Jada or Gabby or Well, actually, I might start Otus this game here. And Monet is not catching here, and I might play Gabby here in this spot, and then Morella play in this game as well instead of Julia. So I'm looking at those 3 subs for now, and Jaro's going to be hot, so I'm going to get her up in the order here. Probably at 5 or 6. Probably at 5. Well, it depends on what I do for the rest of the order here. If I can get Morella at 3, then I'll drop Paige down, and then I'll drop Jaro down. I might do that instead because of the clutch spots that Morella can really get into. And then Jaro there. And I think I like this look of this batting order. And I'll look at positions here the rest of the way. I don't know if Morella is best at third base or where. It's always a question of Paige or Gabby and right or first base or whatever. And I think these look fine. I could put Morella in the outfield instead of Taylor, things like that. But Taylor didn't cool down, which is great. So, excuse me. So I'll probably stick with it here. No one juiced or anything like that. Jody, obviously, I'm looking to probably pitch her some of game 4. Not like all of game 4, I have no idea. But let's go ahead and get started with this one. Lineup's looking good. We're going to play the Moonstars. We are home team again. And this is the official quarterfinals for this game. All right, so, sorry, I got to look up a photo here. So we're going to be playing at this Emerald Diamond. And what does it look like? I got to find my photos first here. I have them on my phone. This thing, during the loading screen, you can look at Emerald Diamond on the loading screen right now. I don't have this loaded up and ready. So, Emerald Diamond here. We have, sorry. Okay, so it looks like, very shallow left field. You already saw it here. Very shallow left field, probably a high wall over there, and jets out to a power alley there that's symmetric with right center, just about. Yeah, look at that at this field. Not a very high wall, but it goes down. That is a short porch. And a little short porch in right field, too. This is a different looking stadium. Never played here. It looks like it's kind of night, but it's not. Interesting, because the sky gets lighter over there. Okay, Pepe Vinicio. These are players we must have faced before. And just under 400 feet straight away center field. Kind of a smaller hitter's ballpark, I'm going to say here. LOL Crab Pasta Bar. Alright, so again, I don't really remember these players. Maybe some names will sound familiar, but they're 15-month-old names for me to remember. Wow, that is short in left field. Call her off. That is short, man. It's still 300 something, but it's short for a while, and the wall's not very high. It's not like that one, I forget what it was called, Swagger Center, I think. Clyde Oliver. Kylie, do your thing. If our starting pitching is phenomenal, this park feels small, except for those corner power alleys. Rusty Bustum. All right, start off with the slider again. Yeah, if our starting pitching is as strong as it was here, remember Jody helped herself out with the home run. She got on the home run board for pitchers. Kylie's the only pitcher not homer, and I don't expect her to homer. I really don't. Ooh, Ferris wheel. This is a cool little park. I'm sorry we didn't get to play here at all in the regular season. So yeah, CCS, a different park here, you know. We're still the home team, and we still got our home faithful kind of cheering us on. They got some people cheering them on as well. But, you know, we're still the home team. Whoa, look at this. Yeah, see, it's kind of... The whales. It's like nighttime, but it's not, I guess. I don't know. It's just interesting. I guess the sun's setting beyond us out there, so... If this stadium's in the next game, that's Kendall's first time being retired, or not even getting a hit during the CCS playoffs. Very interesting kind of sky. It's strange how long it's light for here. Oh, and Taylor doesn't catch a break there. 2 down. 3 left. No, Kendall wasn't a lefty there. But we're facing a lefty here. A couple lefties in our lineup here with Taylor and Morella. And down 1, 2, 3. All right, so not quite the offensive prowess that we had last time there. And don't worry, we still got Raisa and Paige and all that, and the very hot Sophia Jaro coming up next here. So kind of our 4, 5, 6 are probably the hotter hitters than our 1, 2, 3, except for Kendall. But I really want speed to dominate the top of that order. This pitcher's going to be a hard thrower. You know, maybe it's not a very high offensive game for either team. I've been lucking out so much with those dives lately that even when it's been hitting the belly, it's still registered as a catch. So I thought, why not do it again? Clubber Buff. Clubber Lang Buff. Ooh, and he swung. And it's probably hit too slow for a double play. Oh, he's kind of slow as well. In the dirt. Oh, Gabby couldn't dig it out. He's going for 2. Why isn't my catcher backing up second base? Raisa, you got to back up. Or not second base. First base. You got to back it up. Windy Wheels. Blonde eyebrows. A black man with blonde eyebrows. It's like the Cisco of... I don't know if he had blonde eyebrows, but he had blonde hair. Oh, I would have gone to 3, but no one was really covering third there. So that one rings true to... And I want to talk about backing up first as well. But that one rings true kind of to what I was saying before with... actually, a couple things I've been saying the last game. Number one, when I said when a ball's not hit hard enough, you probably won't hit into a double play. But that time they probably would have. Look at the traffic on that road behind there. They must be driving underneath the stadium or curving very fast on that block there. The cars just literally don't move. They'll just be in dead stop traffic the whole time, I guess. But yeah. First thing was, if a ball's not hit hard enough, he might not hit into a double play. Looks like he probably could have gotten hit into a double play. He could have hit into a double play. Second thing, God, this pitcher's good. Let's hope his mojo doesn't come up. Ooh, that shouldn't be a strike. So that's number 1. Number 2, hey-oh! Way to go, Raya. You're just lucky right now. And your mojo goes up. Number 2, that ball was hit in front of the runner, but they still went. They should have gotten out. I probably could have gotten them out. If there were no outs, I probably would have pushed harder for it. For a lot of reasons, trying to reduce that run from scoring. However, because no one was really at third base, I think it was going to be too hard to make it happen. Ooh, Paige doesn't hit into many double plays there. Yeah, so there's that. Jaro, 800 average. Look at that. Number 3 was Raisa backing up first base. Now, if there's a ground ball in the infield, and there's nobody on or there's a runner on first, it is ideal and advised for that catcher to back up first base. Some people actually haven't even heard of that. And some people have heard of it, and they said, oh, yeah, with nobody on. Yeah, of course. But they're like, but a runner on first? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Now, conventional wisdom says right fielder. This is right fielder backs up first. Well, they do. They do back up first. But they're not at, a little too hard for me, but they're not at an ideal angle from a throw from the second baseman, and sometimes a throw from the shortstop, or from turning 2, throw from second baseman. The fastest person to get there is going to be the catcher to back up first. Right fielders all the way in right field, way deep out there. Sometimes in softball, yeah, they're kind of hugging the line or they're very far in because, you know, maybe they don't mash it out there like that. A lot of range, a lot of range. Hey! Catches it on her back. I'll take it. That's why I need Taylor out in center field. So Sauter's mojo's higher. Maybe if I get him out, I can lower his mojo, and maybe he gets on base, which would be scary. And then that would up his mojo even more. All right. Strike him out. Let's go, Kylie. All right. Don't think it lowered his mojo, though. She's saying, but yeah, catcher. Now I explained why you back it up with, you know, clearly with nobody on. Yeah, of course you should back that thing up. Because in overthrow, you're the next person to get it. So when Gabby misses that ball, and it wasn't an error. In fact, let me make sure they didn't give me an error for anything. Okay, no error. Good. Now I'll explain that as well. Okay, I'm just going to pause here for a second because, as you well expect, I don't end up going back to the error story. So let me talk about why I was saying that an error should not have been made on that play, and then let me correct a mistake about what I said. First things first, a scorekeeper cannot assume that a double play ever consists of ordinary effort by the middle infielder who is turning to at the bag. That means that if he or she makes an errant throw at that base toward first for a double play, it is a play that requires more than ordinary effort, no matter how slow the runner and no matter how easy the throw. That is just one of the rulebook definitions of statistics in baseball and softball. So the batter runner cannot advance to first on a throwing error when a double play is being turned in that particular case. That being said, the batter runner did then advance to second base after the throw was low and the first baseman missed the ball. So even though the batter reaches first safely on a fielder's choice, where it was a 6-4 put out to the runner advancing to second, the batter runner then advances to second base on a throwing error by the second baseman. And in that case, there is a throwing error on that play that should have been recorded, not advancing to first base, even though she would have been out on the throw, but advancing to second base. So I was mistaken in what I said. There should have been a throwing error, but not for the actual double play in itself, just for the fact that they advanced to the next base. Okay, back to the game. If Gabby missed that and it just, you know, as a catcher, you don't like run behind the first baseman. You kind of run up the line, not up the line. You kind of run up the foul ground, the backstep area, because that's where a ball is likely going to be hitting off of and trickle off, and you know that's kind of where you want to go. So let's just throw a strike, please. And here we go. 99. Boom! What a strike, Morella. She's like, you don't need Julia. You got Morella here. I can take care of this. All right, 79 hitters. But yeah, with the runner on first, you still back up first base. Think about it. Not just the turning a double play thing, but let's say there's a slow ground ball to the shortstop. She has to rush up. She can't turn two, so she throws to first base, and there's an overthrow. There's a runner on second, and you're like, well, yeah, what if that runner scores? Okay, well, you're the catcher who's maybe not 60 feet away from home plate. Okay, let's say 80. You're 80 feet away from home plate as a catcher who's getting the ball to back it up to prevent a runner from advancing, maybe to third or that other runner second. I don't think it's going to make it. So, yeah, you know, you're preventing other runners from advancing, from being a backup. Better than no backup, right? Now they can't get to third, maybe. Or maybe they can't get to second. I bunt with Kylie here, 9 spot. I know your mojo's, yeah, your mojo's high. Let's power swing with you once and just see what happens. Oh, now it's bunt. Now there's 1 strike. Nice bunt! Ah, just fell. 2 strikes. I'm not bunting with you now. And I'm just contact swinging. Pitcher's pretty good right now. Drop in. Let's just run. Oh, got me foul. Tag up. But, yeah, so as a catcher, you know, you're preventing runners from advancing. So, hey, a runner can't score if she can't advance. You have to remember that. If the catcher backs up that play in a double play, maybe she never gets to third. Not a double play, because otherwise she's not at second. But on the throw to first, maybe she never gets to third. But you also have to remember, there are... Yes! Yes! Run, 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 run! Here we go, Kendall. That is deep, 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 deep. Stand-up triple. I don't think you can make it to home. I don't think you make it to home. They're almost an inside the Parker. All right, Kendall, stay hot, kiddo. And this is a spot for Taylor that's good. I can still get an RBI with her, and that can keep her neutral even if she gets out. Or I can sac fly her. There's the RBI. There we go. Oh, there were 2 outs. I didn't even... Oh, I messed up. I forgot Paige Otus batted that half inning. I didn't even know there were 2 outs. Oh, I'm so lost in my talk there. But yeah, so you prevent the runners from going maybe, but even if you don't, you're closer to home still than that runner. that runner has at least 120 feet to go. She's on second base. You know, that's a straight shot. I'm talking about softball, 60 feet away, or 180 feet in baseball. But everything I'm saying is in softball terms, 60 feet base paths, okay? So, you know, 120 feet away from home, and that's running straight to third and straight to home. But of course, they round it and do all this other stuff. And you're only like 80 feet away as a catcher. Even if you're in gear, even if you're a slower runner, you still have time to get back. And guess what else? Ooh, they didn't go to 2. And guess what else? You have the pitcher who can cover home. The first baseman can cover home. You have a lot of people who can cover home for you. Home is not the next thing that you have to get. The next priority is keeping the runner from going to the next base or getting them out going to the next base. And you don't need someone else there. So you as a catcher should back up first base on every ground ball in the infield when there's nobody on or a runner on first. Runner on second? No, clearly not. Now there's a play at home in case of an overthrow and you need someone there and you need the catcher ready and all that kind of stuff. There's no real semblance of that makes any sense whatsoever. But nobody on a runner on first, catcher should back up first base. And right fielder should back up first base when she gets the chance to. That means if she's not backing up an outfielder, whoo, way to paint that corner. That means if the, it's not hit at her, she's not backing up an outfielder or whatever else, especially with a play from third. She should be backing that thing up, and I hope she is in the game. I'm not looking enough, and there aren't enough overthrows for me to check it out. But she should be. And you probably saw a couple games ago when Jody backed up third base when that overthrow came to third. When the runner was, I don't know if she was going to third, but I was trying to prevent them from going to third. And she backs up third base, and that's what a pitcher does. She backs up third and home on different balls hit to the outfield. It depends on what it is. Some base hits, fly balls, balls in the gap, things like that. And in the gap, split it. Oh, not quite. So, yeah, like say this base hit to right field here. The pitcher should go back up third base in case of a play there. And shortstop should be the cutoff and things like that. Raisa, stay hot. You are absolutely jacked here. Just wait for that pitch. Pitcher can leave a hanger. What does he throw? No curveball. So no hanging curveball, but 3-0. I don't think I'll green light right now. I'd rather look for a walk. There it is. Looking for that walk. So I still have Paige on deck and then Jaro. Paige isn't hot, but she's been my 3-hitter. She's been, like, best, most successful hitter, pretty much. Even though she grounded to double play last time. There we go. Pitcher should back up home. Let's see where the pitcher is here. Throw home. That's not the pitcher. See the pitcher back there on the bottom? Make sure you check that out. Pitcher was backing up home on that. Who was the cutoff? That should have been. That probably was the first baseman. All right, infield's up. Jaro, pop it over their heads. Look for a pitch up in the air you can take care of. Just don't pop it up. Pop it over their heads. I'll take a walk. Kendall's on deck. I think. Yeah! Jaro! Look at this playoff success she's got here. Who's on third? Can we score? Let's go. Let's go to third. Go to third. I sent her way too late. Oh, her mojo went up then back down. I sent her way too late to third. But a 3-run double. Definitely worth it. I forgot. I thought we were near the top of I thought last game Jaro was at the bottom of the order. So I thought she's at the bottom again. Yeah, Jaro should have made it to third. Once I sent the runner to home, you had to know they were never going to go to third, so I should have sent her to third at the beginning to start with, and I didn't. And it brought her mojo down. It brought it up and I think right back down, which is, I don't think that's how mojo should work there. Maybe she's like, one thing I do hope they do, and I don't think they'll be doing it for this next Super Mega Baseball 3, but if they make a Super Mega Baseball 4, I hope what they do with mojo, besides, being a little more... Look at that reflective water out there. Instead of being a little more, how do I say it? Like, you know how they are so, like mojo really affects your player. I've talked about the fact I hope it doesn't affect them as much. You know what I hope they do instead with mojo is get individual portions of mojo to change. So if you become a successful hitter, but end up get caught stealing a lot or whatever, you get thrown out like that, maybe then only your hitting goes up. Your hitting attributes go up for mojo, but not your base running or not your throwing arm, right? So maybe mojo goes better or worse based on the things that you do off the mound that are relative to that. So Raisa should be backing up first base there, but way to get the double play. We're at the 8-hitter. I don't think they're going to pinch hit at all, despite the fact they're down 4-0. We got to the pitcher a little bit. I'm happy about that. And Kylie's thrown pretty well, and that's in the deep part of the yard. Not a home run. I love it. It's a home run at Sakura Hills, though. Not here. Good thing we're playing at a different yard. It's all right, 9-1-2. But yeah, you know, I wish Mojo affected just the parts that should affect it, you know? So Jaro gets to run out of third. Maybe she's like, oh man, I'm not as confident of a runner. Something like that. So maybe it lowers her running mojo, but not her hitting, or not her defense, or her power. You know, I'm really hoping that that can come into play someday for them, you know? If I could get, oops. Keep saying oops, but I'm keep being successful. Kylie beat it out! Yeah, that a baby. Kylie with a piece. Kendall with a triple. I love it. I ain't gonna steal Kylie. At least not in it. Nope, I ain't gonna steal her. I know it's a steal situation. I'm gonna power hit Kendall. Get through! That is just a streak of luck. That is just a streak of luck right there. Those two infield singles. Only with that mojo could she get up that far. And Taylor, I know, no RBI in that last one. I'm sorry, kiddo. Good thing our mojo's not down at all. But we got to get her successful now. Let's contact swing here. It's time. Oh, the time that I should have power swung. Let's contact. I'm going just to third here. Ooh, weak arm in center, man. Or that's just pretty deep in center. That's about 400, I said. Right in center field there. So, okay, Morella. Can we at least get one run in here and make it work? Interestingly, they're playing the infield in. I get it. They don't want runners to score, but if I hit into a double play, no run scores either. So I'm surprised their middle infield's not back. I'm going to send Kendall. And they're still going to cover. Ooh, they almost caught it. That almost hurt me there. That would have been a sad double play where I ran into no luck there. But there we go, Morella coming through. And Raisa, what do you got here? So they still covered second with the infield in. Look, now the infield's back, and I get it. Different kind of hitter. Get back. I get it. Different kind of hitter there. And better chance of a double play with Raisa. But, no, just very, very interesting that they stayed in at that time. It's interesting. Sometimes I don't look at where the ball is. Come on! almost a 6-4-3 put out. There, good old assist. All right, Jaro. Let's go, Jaro. Keep it up, kid. I know you just reduced your mojo again after your awesome hit, but your mojo's still up in hole. Oh man. And too deep for that part of the yard. That's not a home run at any park that I know of. All right, well, we do have 6 runs. Kylie is strong with only 3 hits here. I feel good for these CCS playoffs. They might pinch hit now. They do not, so they still have faith in SUBSTITUTION, even though he won't really make much contact here. Feeling better for Kylie. All fastballs, yeah. Yeah, ooh. Just backdoor him now. Make him look silly. All right. Sorry, Slip. Slips. I don't know. But Kylie, man, doing it just like the regular season. Only like a Kylie could and would and should. Our starting pitching is just phenomenal. And our bullpen so far, Brandon threw he got a 1-2-3 inning in the 9th inning of that one game. You know, there was no, it was like 10-1 or whatever. It wasn't any, close game, so it wasn't a stressful situation. So it was likely that would have happened regardless. All right, but good numbers so far for us here. It just, it depends on who we play in games coming forward. We have a chance. I don't know. I didn't see the bracket. Maybe they lost. But there's a possibility we play the Overdogs our next game because they are in our conference and they were on the lower part of the bracket. POTUS in the gap. Go 2. Looking 3 because it's deep. Center field has a weak arm. Go 3. Go 3, POTUS. Go 3, POTUS. Look how weak that is. He has to go way out there. Let me talk about something that they didn't do here that they should have. I think I was going to bring it up once and I never did in one of the games. I want to talk about not a double cut, but a backup cut. Yeah, they have to play the infield in now. I want someone to poke it right over that left field wall, the one right down the line where it's super short. I'm waiting for that. Or that wall. Tag up, Paige. What are you doing? And I've taught, and yeah, curve away. Oh, tag up. What are you doing, Brandon? Oh, Brandon. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about my runner at third. I was thinking about just running with Gabby. So I was just running. I forgot that Paige was running at the same time. Yes, obviously I should tag up. I've said stories about that I should tag up. He almost caught that, and that almost cost me an RBI sack fly kind of thing there. But Gabby punching the gap. Kylie going to keep batting. Oh, I was hoping Kylie could punch it. So stay at second. Ground ball in front, you hold. No chance of getting over to third, even on the throw to first there. Just hit it over that wall. Kendall hit it over that wall. I want one of those hitters where Kendall wouldn't hit many home runs. She hit 2 on the season, and this season. But can she pepper it over that wall? I gotta pull it to pepper it over the wall. Ooh, good take. Yeah. So, you know, you're not gonna see double cuts in this game, meaning second baseman cuts it off, then shortstop cuts it off, something. Ooh, way too early. Shortstop cuts it off, something like that. You're not gonna see something like that. Oops. Bergerer, also a hard thrower. Interesting that they didn't pinch hit and they let him pitch a couple. Yeah, he got 2 outs. Ooh, throws hard. But so you won't see double cuts, but you know you have a backup cut, and they did. Either I did or they did once have a backup cut. And what a backup cut is, you know, if an outfielder throws it from really far, they're really just winging it. You know what I mean? They might overthrow your cutoff, and they're from deep and far away. Ooh, Tay, not doing well with you in the playoffs, kid. They're throwing it from really far away, and if you miss your cutoff, if it underthrows them, overthrows them, wings them to the left or right, something like that, who else is out there to get that ball? You know, that's what a backup cut's good for. And if you watch professional baseball, you see any time in professional baseball when there's a ball in the gap, a double, and they're thrown to third or something like that, you'll see the second baseman and shortstop both go out there together, one behind the other, maybe 20 feet behind the other one. And that's what a backup cut is. Now, when do you do a backup cut? Just because there's a ball in the gap? Not necessarily. If there's a ball in the gap, don't walk him with this lead, even though it's a 3-hitter. If there's a ball in the gap and you have a chance of getting the batter out at 2, like they're stretching in 2, you have a chance and shot? No, there's no backup cut. You're trying to get it out at second. Which also means, like this. Do you want a backup cut? No. Like, look, I held him to 1. That means you still want your first baseman on first base, because in case they run back, like that, you want to keep him honest so he just doesn't get the biggest lead in the world and say, I'll try and go to second, and if I decide to go back, I'll be able to go back because there's no one there. No, you don't want that. So if a runner's between first and second, like that scenario, no double cut. Absolutely not. You're cutting 2. But if you're cutting 3, not on a base hit like this, but if with a runner on first, but if there's no one on and they had a ball in the gap, don't walk him. You get a ball in the gap and I don't think they'll run the runner here. And you get a ball in the gap and they're trying to go for a triple, then you go for this like deep cut. You go for like a deep cut to 3, which means you'll have a backup cut. That means you're giving up second base though, right? But Brandon, if your shortstop is a backup cut for the second baseman when a ball's hitting right center, there's no one covering 2 now. And didn't you just say the whole point to keep the first baseman at first base on like a ball in the like for a double is to make sure they don't go as far off as possible? Yeah, I did. So who covers 2? Is it the pitcher? No, the pitcher's backing up 3. Is it the catcher? You said the catcher gets involved? No, catcher's never back doing anything else but staying at home if there's a runner on second at that point. It's the first baseman. The first baseman should trail that runner and go up to second base or near second base. Sometimes you'll see them in the middle of the diamond. You see that on this game. Sometimes she just gets right in the middle of the diamond because she can still get to second base if she needs to. But it throws a little bit harder now. It's kind of harder to figure out, pick apart. Now he has the curveball too. A little slow. Ah, what am I doing? I know. You can't break your bat. So the first baseman goes back up second base. Why? Because there's no play at first anymore. The runner is going for a triple. What, you think they're going to go back to second and then go back to first? No, the farthest back she'll ever go is just second base. Ooh, does that get out of the park? We'll never know. Into the water. Into the water. Oh, hardest hit I've seen in this game. McCovey Cove. Kind of like an industrial area. Were there cranes? Yeah, or not cranes. Those things. See those in Oakland. An industrial area. So not really beautiful because the industrial part. But the water was pretty reflective. Maybe it's because it's slick oil. I don't know. All right. So Jaro. Let's get another at bat here. Let's stay hot, kid. If you can stay hot, I'll keep you in the game. What can you do here? So yeah, so with that backup cut, if you overthrow your cutoff, which again I did in one of them, or the computer did, I don't know. You want to then say, okay, they're gonna back that one up and be there, and the first baseman goes to second because there's no more play at first. So you change your rotation a lot, and this game sometimes kind of does that. Sometimes they keep the first baseman there. Sometimes they do questionable things, but they seem to kind of have some of the fundamentals down, which is pretty awesome. All right, top of the 8th inning. Kylie's still going strong. Still with the shutout. So, this is probably her last outing of the year. So I'll probably let her have that. Second base. I mean, it's not out of arm's reach for them. I can keep Jaro there right now at second base, so I might hit for her to preserve her mojo thing. You know, if it's this kind of lead, we'll figure that out. Taylor, though, man, I'm going to keep Taylor playing. There's nothing, no amount of mojo will have me not play Taylor in a CCS game. That's natural fact. But probably pinch hit Monet in some spot and then have her play first for Gabby. In fact, well, the only reason I don't want to play first for Gabby right now is because I don't know where I want her to come in the lineup. I don't want her to just automatically just bat 2 in the lineup in this next half inning. We'll see. So I'll probably find Monet in this game here. We'll see. Maybe a little Julia, something like that. Dulce. Ooh. Preserve your shutout, Kai. It's an interesting stadium. I don't love it, but it's had unique characteristics that's really made me love the results of what's happened. It kind of interesting park. Wouldn't want it as my home park. Oh, Kylie walks a batter. Not expected. That was not expected. All right, preserve that shutout. Heck, just get a win, right? So at all costs, that means if I have to yank Kylie, so be it. I got Alyssa, I got Bob. I got bullpen people who I want to throw. They're coaching right now. They're in the bullpen. They're just coaching everyone up. That's exactly what's happening here. Too much plate. Taylor, that's why you're out here. Oh, baby. Almost. All right, so this is one of those deep cuts, right? Do I have a backup cut to my player? Let's see. We do not. And they made her make a long throw. They shouldn't have. Kylie, like us, they're probably pinch hitting. So, Kylie, like I said, I'll keep you in until... Look, if run scores, they'll take you out. Because I want... You've thrown 69 pitches, all that stuff. You can hang your head high. And I'll give you the opportunity to get this out yourself. Gustav Gustafsson. See, if he homers, it's a 3-run ball game. Excuse me, 4-run ball game. No! I don't know if I should have dove. I was just trying to prevent. Cut it off. Oh, okay. So there goes her mojo. So that's it for Kylie there, you can tell. Whoops, I'm switching my, no, double play down. All right, so I got to change some things up now. Bob is probably coming in, and I'll probably double switch now with Jaro. Maybe I get Julia in this game at second. So let's do this. Look, Kylie, let's put in Bob. In for Jaro, and Julia comes into the game at second base, but I'll swap Julia at third for Morella. And pretty solid defense there. Julia can then bat in that inning. And maybe Monet bats for Gabby. That's the most likely spot she'll bat. You know what? Let's put Monet in for Gabby right now because the defense is going to be up a little bit there. All right, here we go. So, no outs. They've now considered it to be, you know, it's not out of reach for them. This is playoffs, man. I want to tell you about a really sour game that I once had that wasn't as impactful because, you know, the season still went on, all this other stuff. Very fast runner right there. Not a very fast runner here in Clyde, and not a very good 2-hitter either. So, it's, you know, this can run them out of an inning before the 3-hitter and stuff. Oh, Bobby, got to stay out of the zone, bud. Before the 3-hitter ever comes up, I can make this happen with a nice little double play with a weak hitter. Heck, he might just strike out. Shouldn't speak too soon, Leon. Weak hitters there. Again, maybe a home run at Sakura Hills. Pretty deep here. Not the deepest I've seen. Pretty deep there, Bob. That was close. Rusty bust him. When I coached for another high school, and by the way, I don't know if you guys know, you know, I'm a high school math teacher. So some people might have, some people might have been wondering, oh, this guy throws hard. Taylor McWales, hardest you can throw without mojo being up, or juice, fastball. 4-seamer, 2-seamer, curveball. Why did I only coach 1 year with the Bearcats? Because that's the last year I stopped teaching at the school. I was pink slipped. I didn't get tenured. So a couple other math teachers did get tenured either. You know, that was why. So I wasn't at the school anymore. Couldn't really coach at a school I wasn't teaching at. So that was that. But before that, there was another thing before that. And I brought up something that was similar to it. I had a 7-0 lead. So here's the thing. I was coaching. It was a JV softball team. 7-0 lead. And sorry, this was a tournament, not like CCS playoffs tournament like this. This was a weekend tournament. Oh my! This was a weekend tournament. So they had time limits on games, hour 30 or something like that. There wasn't supposed to be a time limit in the championship game, but because it was getting darker or something, I forget what it was. Oh, Jules. they decided to say, we're going to have a time limit. I was not in agreement with it. They said it in the beginning of the thing. Bob, I'm going to keep you in. They said it in the beginning of the game at the plate visit. The beginning of the game. I wasn't a fan of it, but whatever. It's the 5th inning. We're up 7-0. I think it's 7-0. And I decided to swap catchers because I want to get some people in this game. Because this is the last game of the tournament. This is the championship game. Come on, Taylor! Almost closed it out there, Bob. I swapped catchers. According to the pitcher after the game, swapping catchers was a mistake because it's just different. You know, it's different from the pitcher. And that's the thing that I alluded to once. You know, you can't swap catchers. You know, that's like a jinx. You're jinxing yourself. All right, ball game. Ball game. All right, perfect. So I swapped catchers. Someone who sometimes caught. She was mostly a first baseman or bench or DP, something like that. But I swapped catchers. A lot of things happened in that inning. There were a couple errors, couple mishaps, but you know, the wheels fall off. And I swapped pitchers a couple times. Next pitcher I swapped to, hit a couple batters, something like that. All this stuff. We end up going down after that. This would have been the last inning because of the time limit or because of the mercy rule or something like that. I forget. But it would have been the last inning ideally if we got out of that one. But we didn't, and we ended up going down like 10-7. All because I swapped catchers. And really, that was really a part. Because I swapped catchers, because I let the second pitcher in for too long, who hit a couple batters, this kind of thing. That, you know, because of this swap, it feels like, because of the swap momentum-wise, hang on, look at this, So we held down the 4th the whole way through. Second playoff game done. Now we're going to the semis next. But anyway, so with that down, we end up batting in that last half inning. And I remember my last girl actually hit it off her foot, but it went really hard to shortstop, and they threw her out. Umpires didn't see it. And I'm like, I tell the batter, I'm like, Emily, you better show them a bruise on your foot right now. Because, like, it was like off her shin, whatever. Better show them a bruise, because I know it hit off the foot. I was at a different angle than the umpires. So, anyway, we ended up losing the game. And because of time limit, we didn't end up getting other innings. Because I had faith we'd be able to crawl back and score more runs and all that kind of stuff. It was just a weird inning where the wheels fell off. It happens. That was a bad game to swallow. Up 7-0 in the last inning. And, man, swapping catchers and not swapping out the second pitcher enough, stuff like that, ended up costing us there. So that was one of the other bad games there, but it just wasn't as punishing to our team or to anything else there. It was just a game that we just lost. It was too bad. It was just a weird, impactful game that can't believe we lost the championship JV game that way. All right, won the conference semifinals. Now it's up to the official semifinals. It's the conference finals, but they shouldn't call it that. Let's see who we're gonna play, because the Overdogs, the 3 seed, are playing that might be the Crocodons or someone right there. Let's see who we're going to play going into the actual semifinals here. Simulating, updating foul pole physics. There we go. Who won? The Overdogs won 1-0 over the Crocodon. No, 3-1. No, they won 3-1. No, I don't know what this is. I think, okay, they won 3-1. See those little numbers there? 1-0 was just their record in those finals, I guess. Oh, because I'm doing one game playoffs per round. That's why. So the Overdogs win. And guess what, guys? We are facing, this couldn't have been drawn up any better. We're facing the Overdogs. To me, this is kind of the championship game, if you know what I mean. I've beaten, well, actually, I don't know if I have. The Protectors and the Razzles or Razzies or whatever they are great. The Overdogs are my rival. This is the game that I want to win. I mean, if I win this one and lose the finals, whatever. This is as far as the Bearcats have gotten as well in the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019. They got to the semifinal game. They never won it. So can we, as a virtual Bearcats team, obviously a way different scenario in a lot of respects, not to mention it's virtual, can we get to the finals? That's all the thing that matters to me, but we'll see. You have to wait till tomorrow, though. So that ought to do it for this one, guys. This is Brandon Robinson, and I'll see you in the semifinals.